You might have read in the press about how much power AI consumes. I've read a lot of criticism on the early reports that it was overstated, and there's been a couple of reports since which have actually said it's not as bad as you think. So I thought I'd just take a little look based on a report I saw today. Let's have a look. It's this one here, and it's a report by Google about how much energy AI actually uses. So that's the caveat emptor, isn't it? This is not an independent piece of research, but it's published out there and it's got a technical paper, which I've not read yet, but I intend to read. That'll be what I do tonight over a nice glass of something or other. And in it, it says down here, this is the bit we want to look at. Let's have a look. We estimate the mean Gemini app's text prompt to use 0.24 watt hours of energy. All right. So that doesn't sound much, does it? But what does that translate into? So I thought I'd put it in, sort of help put it in context for you. I searched for what are the carbon emissions of a Starbucks coffee. Okay. And I'm sure it applies to other coffee places as well. And you have to be a bit careful with AI responses, as you know, they do hallucinate. So I double checked the source and it's from CDP, okay, the Carbon Disclosure Project, and they're pretty good. If they publish it, do you know what? I will probably say it's probably correct. And down here they say that single 12-ounce black coffee generates about 0.258 kilograms of CO2. Notice the units are different, and I'll show you that in a second. And a latte is 0.844. Okay, so how do you make sense of that? To help you, I've made a spreadsheet, which is this one here. So a Gemini query, according to Google, and that's the caveat emptor, this is not an independent piece of research, was 0.03 grams of CO2, which is there. A Starbucks latte is 0.844 kilograms of CO2. So if you translate that from that to that, multiply by 1,000, so you got 844 grams of CO2. So each Starbucks latte is about 28,000 Gemini quotes. Okay. Now, that's not much, is it? If you say, right, would you want a Starbucks latte or 28,000 AI quotes? Go figure out. It's not as much as people think. I am going to read the technical paper. I will come back to you with sort of analysis of that, just in case I spot something in the methodology that maybe I don't think is quite right. I'm not sure. We'll take a look at it, and I'm sure it is okay. I'm sure it's absolutely fine. Google, I feel that's not a problem at all. They did state in here water, and we at Anistic, we tend to concentrate on carbon emissions and sustainability in light of carbon, but water is important, and you've seen it all over the news at the moment, because down here they say each prompt 0.26 milliliters of water. So I thought, just for a laugh, do you know what, I sort of put that on the spreadsheet as well. And so what I did here, again, this is AI from Google, this is Gemini, so it's Gemini sort of answering questions about Gemini itself. I think it's quite weird. And it says a typical toilet flush is about 4 to 6 liters, let's call it 5 for maths. And so down here, if we translate that, Gemini query, 0.26 milliliters of water, i.e. about 5 drops. So it's not much, is it? Not much. And a toilet flush is 5 liters of water. So convert liters to milliliters, you get 5,000. So one toilet flush is about 19,000 Gemini queries rather. So, so that's kind of what we're talking about. So broadly speaking, a latte is 20 odd thousand Gemini queries, and a toilet flush is about 20,000 Gemini queries. So if these figures are to be believed, it's not much. Okay, so when people get sort of het up about the massive sort of scale of AI energy use, they're not wrong. I mean, these data centers do take immense power and water to run, so they are correct. But let's keep things a bit in perspective. It's not as bad as people thought, okay? And as I say, I will read the technical papers and come back just to double check it all. And one query that I've got, which is that they say in the statement, just ping back to that for you here, that it consumes 5 drops of water. And one of the things I'm kind of interested in, well, how does it consume the water? I mean, maybe they evaporative cool it, and which uses the water. But I know these things use water to cool them. The data centers use a lot of water to cool them down. I didn't realize they consume water necessarily. So that's kind of like another thing I'll be looking at technical paper, just have a look through. All right, a little bit of fun, just fun on a Monday morning. So I hope that was useful for you. And broad takeaway, one Starbucks, about 20,000 queries. One toilet flush, about 20,000 queries. So there you go. I hope that was useful. If you've got any other queries or any questions about this or anything else that we do at Nistic on carbon accounting and compliance and stuff like that, let us know. Drop us a message in the usual way. Send me an email, send me a text, send me a fax. How about that, eh? Or drop a comment to this video and we'll get back to you. All right, see you next time. Bye.